Hey everyone, welcome back to another Anime Kingdom review. See by the title below, yes, this is on episode 5 of Saekano Season 2. And pretty much just like we predicted and anticipated, this episode was of course the start of Edidi's arc. Last episode was of course the ending of Uchiha, so it kind of made sense that it would start to be for Edidi. And straight off the bat, I completely understand all the hate in the forums right now. In the forums, if you go look at My Anime List forums, there's so many people just hating on Tomoya, and honestly, I completely agree. Sure, I'll say at this one point that it does make sense a little bit of, some logical sense on the fact that, as a, an artist, you shouldn't be changing your style this close to the deadline. But still, other than that, it's just the way he executes everything, the way he thinks about all this stuff, the way that the problem for me is too, especially not just because he's oblivious and dense to all this going on, but there's numerous things that make it like, why doesn't he do this? Why doesn't he do that? It literally just blows my mind, and I completely understand why there's so much hate on Tomoya this week in the forums, especially considering the fact that one, we see throughout this episode that there's these flashbacks. So this kind of event has happened before. Something along the lines, while it may not be obviously for making a game like they are doing now, something along those lines, he did the same thing with her before, and this happened to her before, and it came to the point where she was sick and he had to, help. He came to the very end, obviously, as you saw, but it's happening again. So you think he wouldn't make the same mistake. But guess what? He still does. He still lets it happen. And this is not the only thing. We also have Uchiha literally throughout this episode giving him advice and giving him pretty much, description of what's going on for her. This whole kind of, by stages and everything, which she was completely correct each and every, in each and every way. And even there, he's still like, nah, she's fine, it should be fine, she's good. And you think it's belief, like he believes in her, but no, it's not. He actually thinks that she cannot do this, she can't change. And as you saw, Uchiha was getting super pissed because, as, a fellow creator, the way Tomoya is looking at it is that she can never change for the better. She just has to, she wishes she pretty much would just do it, do it that way, not change. And in the end, he was just like full on, like it pissed me off when he was like, you know what, on the phone, just do the way you want, I don't care, kind of thing. And I'm over here like, are you kidding me? This is the point where you have to say, yes, I believe in you. And as you saw at the very end, she was saying that all she needed was for him to believe in her. We already knew this, and he knows her. This is not like he just met her kind of thing, or, it's only been a couple months or something. And in the end, Megumi and her have only known each other for not as long as well, and she gets it more than him. Like throughout this episode, you see Megumi kind of, she's of course not pushing him to do it because it's got to be the choice for Tomoya, but even Megumi is trying to help him out and help, Edidi out as well. And still Tomoya is too oblivious and too dense for it, that you can't see that literally everything, all Edidi wants is him to, like he did before when they were younger, to see and show that he does think her work is really good, that he does believe in her. That's all he has to do. Go to her, help her out. This is a time where you need to be with her. She's in a crisis, and you see, it's not like he didn't see this coming. Everyone saw this coming. Uchiha saw this coming. Megumi saw this coming. He should have, because like I said before, because of the flashbacks of this, something like this happening before. And yet for some reason, he's just completely oblivious and keeps thinking, no, she could do it, she'll be fine, until finally at the very end of this episode, you have it literally just like her on the ground, looks like I don't know, she's really sick because she did her best in this cold weather by herself, just doing her best to do these 5 pages in one day. And thus, obviously, yeah, she's gonna end up being sick. She's just been not really taking care of herself, just eating instant noodles and everything in this freezing cold weather and out over there. And obviously, with her probably working without sleeping, probably, yeah, she's gonna end up getting sick. And it comes to the point where Tomoya only realizes this probably at the very last moment. And that's why I like at the beginning of the episode, like I always love the way so far in this season this anime has kind of just like talked crap about itself in a way that Uchiha was like, oh, welcome to the worst protagonist Hall of Fame to him, pretty much. Because yeah, that's pretty much what he is. And it's so funny to see that happen, them say that right at the beginning of the episode and then let it go off like this, that literally the writers of this literally was just like, you know, this part right here, of course, he's the worst protagonist. Let's put this at the very beginning and kind of have like a, you know, like, oh, wow, they're calling him the worst protagonist. And later on at the end of the episode, after watching this whole episode, you're like, wow, that was so true. Like, literally, that's how they wrote it. And honestly, good job to them, because that's really what we got in the end. That's how we felt about Tomoya, is the fact that he's just like, I don't understand. It's so obvious, especially it should be for him. But no, he's, you know, like a lot of main characters, just completely oblivious and dense to these facts that are all around him for some reason, and it doesn't come to him until the very end, when obviously something bad happens, and that is of course Eddie getting sick at the very end of the episode. But yeah, that was honestly, like, I'm just going on a rant about this because literally I honestly feel complete, like, I agree with everyone in the forums, because I do not understand how Tomoya can think like this with everything. It's not like I said, it's not like it just came out of nowhere. It's not like this is the first time. It's not like no one was saying anything. People were saying stuff. Something like this happened before, and everything, even like maybe at first he can be a little like, you know, that's not gonna happen kind of thing when Uchiha gives him the facts about the stages and everything. But as it's going on, come on, you're still not gonna go to her when she needs you kind of thing, not gonna tell her you believe in her. It gets really irritating, honestly, and that's why I'm just ranting so much about it right now, because for me it's like, why? It's crazy how like right now I'm so pissed, because like I said, I don't, you know, out of all the characters, Eddie D isn't my favorite character. I'm not saying she's a horrible character. I'm not like hating on anyone who likes Eddie D and everything. But out of, you know, all the girls, she's my least favorite girl. I'm not gonna lie. But even then, I feel so sorry for her, because Tomoya is such an idiot, and it's so crazy, honestly, that how, you know, the first season was pretty much all laughs and everything. It was cute. It was more like a harem kind of thing, and I really enjoyed it for that fact. This season so far has gotten so serious. Uta's arc was like literally just, it played with your feelings like throughout the whole thing, and you could tell that this was much more serious than how it was in the first season, you know? And right here, straight up on the first episode of Eddie D's arc, it literally just went like 0 to 100, and it just, I honestly can't wait to see the next episode, to see what's going to happen, see if someone literally knock some sense into, you know, Tomoya, or he finally realizes after everything that happens, right when it's pretty much like almost too late, like at the very end, just like how most of these kind of main characters really do, you know, finally realize. And just, I want to see what's going to happen, what's going to go through his head, and it should definitely be at least really interesting. Like, even though I hated Tomoya's character, I really did enjoy the episode. They did a good job. Sure, the dramatics of everything may have been pretty over the top, especially with how, like, all of a sudden it seemed like she was dying at the very end, to which I'm pretty sure she's not gonna die, obviously, or even be that bad where she's gonna die, even be close to death. It's probably just overexhaustion and a cold kind of thing, to which, of course, if he goes there, he better go there, or I'm gonna be pissed, and takes care of her, everything should be fine after that. But it's more of, finally, hopefully he will get it through his head on all this kind of stuff, and after that we'll probably get into the more of, you know, Eddie D trying to, you know, finally realizing that she's not going to be the one kind of thing, just like how it was with Uchiha, and in the end, like maybe 2 episodes, it'll, you know, finish her arc, thus going towards, I guess, I don't know, maybe, you know, finally the game comes out kind of thing with Izumi and everything, and then the ending, maybe, I'm not too sure if that's like for sure what's going to happen, but it's probably going to end with him and Megumi and everything. Probably, I'm not too sure. Like I said, maybe it'll be ending up in a harem route for all we know, you know? But yeah, overall, that's really all I gotta say about this episode before I just continue to rant about how stupid Tomoya was in this episode. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. Hope you enjoyed this Anime Kingdom review. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. If there's anything I missed and you want to talk about, comment below as well. And if you did enjoy, don't forget to like. If you haven't already, feel free to subscribe for more content. And as always, guys, I want to hear your guys' thoughts. How did you feel about this episode? Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it like I, not hate it, but hate Tomoya like I did? Do you have any opinions on anything that happened? Feel free to comment below. It's always interesting to see what you guys thought about it as well. And if you agree or disagree, is always interesting to, have a discussion about. But yeah, that's all I gotta say, guys. So till next time, see ya.